This is a steal of a trade for the Miami Heat, as Bleacher Report recently published an article involving the Miami Heat and the Memphis Grizzlies and a blockbuster trade that could happen this offseason. I'm here to break down the possible trade scenarios for Ja Morant and how the Miami Heat fan base really feels about it. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Heat Digest, but first, please do remember, if you're a part of the near 80% currently watching this video, not currently subscribed to the channel, to scroll down and smash that subscribe button. We do appreciate the love and support, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down these new trade ideas involving this Miami Heat organization and all-star point guard Ja Morant. Now, Ja Morant, up to this point of his career, has been phenomenal. One of the most athletic point guards in the game currently, and it's not very close. He's in a very small group of players when it comes to his athletic ability as well as his overall ability on the basketball court. And now, based off the injuries he's had up to this point in his career, as well as really the fines and trouble he's gotten in due to the celebrations he finds himself doing post-win or post-big moment, whether it be a massive dunk or, again, a big shot, he finds himself celebrating in every possible non-acceptable way, at least to the NBA. And because of that, it seems like the Memphis Grizzlies may be willing to deal their all-star point guard this offseason if it results in them winning the trade in some capacity. Now, Bleacher Report published an article just a few days ago suggesting this trade involving the Miami Heat and the Memphis Grizzlies as follows. The Memphis Grizzlies received Ja Morant, the Miami Heat received Ja Morant and Jay Huff. The Memphis Grizzlies would then receive in exchange Duncan Robinson, Kyle Anderson, Nikola Jovic, and Jaime Jaquez Jr., a 2025 first-round pick from Golden State, a 2029 first-round pick, top 4 protected, and a 2031 first-round pick, all coming from the Miami Heat in exchange for all-star point guard Ja Morant and Jay Huff. Now, for the Miami Heat, would this be a spark plug to their entire organization? Yes, it would be Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra being able to go out there in free agency and in the offseason and go out and land a big fish, something they didn't do last year, something they didn't really do the year prior, resulting in obviously the Jimmy Butler departure and again falling short again for the third consecutive year in the playoffs, something the Miami Heat Nation is not very accustomed to seeing. And again, there has been conversations about Pat Riley possibly not being that guy anymore, specifically highlighting and quoting Stephen A. Smith, as he did say he is no longer that guy, doesn't believe he can get these big name players to come down to Miami and play for this Miami Heat organization. This would be a perfect example to go out there, acquire a big fish, and really shut down all of those conversations and give this Miami Heat organization another really good shot in a tough Eastern Conference to make a good run at a possible championship. Now, is it a bit steep in the sense of a trade package? Yes, in the total amount of assets, I will not argue that it is a bit steep for this Miami Heat team, but specifically thinking about the draft compensation, the overall players that would be sent to Memphis, the Miami Heat could live without. Yes, Nikola Jovic is extremely young. He's only 21 years of age, and we've seen very, very good moments from this young man. But how long and how much faith are we going to see this Miami Heat organization put into a young Jovic who has had at moments been injury-riddled when he does come back? Is he starting? Is he coming off the bench? He's used as more of a utility guy, plug and play when the situation really calls upon some more size for this Miami Heat team, while also allowing them to stretch the floor. He's not a dominant inside presence despite being 6'9", 6'10", with a lengthy wingspan. He's more of a perimeter threat with the ability to facilitate and handle the basketball at a better clip that you would see than from someone at that size. So yes, there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of upside to this young man, but how much faith and how are you going to give him the keys to the front door? Are you going to allow him to really run with his opportunities? It's a massive question, not only for this Miami Heat team, but for possible trade suitors like the Memphis Grizzlies. Along with Jovic, obviously Duncan Robinson, a three-point specialist, no way around it. You know what you're getting from Duncan. He's now 31, getting older in age, and with that, his game is solely the three-point shot. He does have great conditioning. That is never going to be the question. He can run up and down that baseline and really look for open shots off of down screens all game long. And he, again, if you give him the opportunity to take 10, 15 threes a game, he's going to provide a lot of made shots. It's just who he is. The ability to catch and shoot, and as well as even shoot off the dribble from behind the three-point line, is an expertise for Duncan Robinson. We've seen him make a career up to this point in doing so. Now, the third name that we're going to mention is obviously Jaime Jaquez Jr., another very young player for this Miami Heat organization, only being 24 years of age. Someone who has been very good since he was drafted out of UCLA. Plays a different brand of basketball than what we're accustomed to seeing from these young guys in today's game and age, as he doesn't rely on the three-point shot. He has the ability to get to the mid-range, get to the paint, despite only being 6'6", 6'7", and using his strong body, getting to the basket, finishing over and through the contact, as well as settling for mid-range jump shots, which is something that we're not accustomed to seeing anymore. A lot of these players are even living and dying by the three-point shot, or inside dominant at the rim and in the painted area. That's not something really that you see Jaime Jaquez really explode and exploit. He shoots an occasional three-point shot, doesn't shoot a barrage of them, anything like Duncan Robinson, but still gives you great scoring ability and excellent level defense. And again, he is still only 24 years of age. Again, in the same idea as Nikola Jovic, if you give him the keys and allow him to really work, he's going to really pay off, and you're going to see great levels of production from someone in Jaime Jaquez Jr. Now, for the conversation if whether or not Ja Morant is going to be traded, there have been rumblings based off this report from Full Court Press on Twitter that goes on to say Ja Morant could be available for trade this summer per ESPN. McMahon, a very credible source working with ESPN, goes on to say, quote, there's a lot of, quote, whisperings and rumblings around the league regarding Morant potentially being available on the trade market. And that's the end of the quote from ESPN_McMahon on Twitter. I apologize. I had to lean into the screen. The font is extremely small on my end. But the idea is the same. Ja Morant could be available for one reason or another, whether it be the problems he gets in when he does celebrate and his choice of celebration actions, or if it's because of the injuries he has dealt with throughout the entirety of his career. If you look last year, he only played in 50 games. The year prior, he only played in 9. He did play 62, 57, 62, and 67. So the first 4 years of his career, 60-plus games played. But the following 2 years, you have seen a really not as effective, not as efficient in the sense of staying healthy for Ja Morant. The overall numbers, despite when he is on the floor, are still all-star level numbers. He is an elite level player with more bounce than a lot of the point guards ever to play the game of basketball. And that seems a bit aggressive to say, but it's not far off. He has excellent level bounce. You guys just saw that picture of him dunking on Victor Wembanyama, a 7'15" player who looks like no joke, a 2K created player. He was able to get up and over Victor Wembanyama. The bounce is unconditional. He has the ability to not only facilitate the basketball, but handle big moments with the basketball in his hand, whether it is to facilitate or look for his own shot. I think this would be a great spark plug to this Miami Heat organization. I think this should have Miami Heat fans fired up as Pat Riley's looking to silence all the haters like Stephen A. Smith, who say he's no longer the guy that can get big names to Miami. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you on the next one.